Hello everyone, here's how to cheese Vermilion Feathers Honglan in Wuchang Fallen Feathers. The trick to this is using the Arcane temperaments, which oddly enough is extremely effective against this boss after a bunch of trial and error. Using a longsword here or dual blades, really any weapon that you're comfortable with. The strategy is we need to abuse this attack here. So when she does this jump attack, we can do a charge heavy and get an easy posture break in. This is just going to make the fight a lot easier. It is a little tricky to get, but the range is around a 90-degree angle from behind, and you can get a bunch of attacks in. Now the other core principle here is we're going to be using the Ethereal form spell there. That gives you basically a free hit, and this is important because a lot of her hits will actually destroy us and knock us down, and then there's no chance to heal. So make sure you always have that up. When it goes into the second phase here, we want to make sure that we buff up our weapon again and get a heal in because there is a bit of a delay. The trick to the second phase is always dodge roll towards her. This will allow you to get the charged up heavy attacks and get them off quicker. This does a massive amount of damage with the Arcane temperaments. Also, building around magic is extremely effective here with the Arcane, so I would recommend a combination of that and putting some stats into your magic stat. And also a talisman that boosts your spell damage and magic damage is going to be important here, so we're just going to be focusing on, again, trying to get to the backside as much as possible and doing that charge attack. It's better to keep dodging towards her, not away from her. That is the big mistake that I made at first. It's best to get behind her if possible, but a lot of the invincibility frames will allow you to get away from getting hit by her, and you can see there, you can get that charge heavy attack off quickly, and that'll break her posture really easily. So anytime you knock her down, do any heals if you need to. It's the only time you're going to get a heal in. And then once she's low in health, you can just power through it with the Arcane temperaments there, which is extremely effective on this boss. So this can be done with a Flamebringer as well, but I was using the Lashing Whip weapon. I found that used the best, and it was only a +8 there. And with the armor setup here, I was just using the Ming armor and some of the others that increase your feathering as she deals feathering and piercing damage. This is this pendants that I was using, the one that boosts up your spell power. You can rewind there if you need to see it. And then the spell is the Ethereal form as well. Also, buff yourself up with an Ancient Chisel before you go into the fight. This will boost up all of your stats, making your damage a lot higher. And that's where my stats were at there. So this build worked really well for me. The key principle is using the Arcane temperaments there to be able to deal that extra damage against this boss and get the charge heavies from behind. If this video is useful, hit the subscribe button below.